Spiritual life. You ask about silence. Spiritual life has all in the world to do with having time for others. Taking time to listen. Karl Barth, a Protestant theologian whom I esteem highly, says like, those who never have time are those people who never have eternity. And those people who possess eternity, they always have time. There is a truth with it. I'm a person, I have a high esteem for focus. I'm a scheduled person. I'm not hanging around, whatever. But there is a crazy lie in our head, which tells us, don't take time to even listen, just get busy. And what happens? People start a university career, start a job, which never was their calling from the beginning on, because they never took the time to even find out. They never took time to sit at Jesus' feet and really learn, really listen. They just got busy. And 2 or 3 years later, they are either burned out, or 10 or 20 years later, they found that this was never my calling. And they call it midlife crisis or burnout or whatever, but it's just the fact that they never took time to establish first their relationship to Jesus, and then to sit here and wait until he tells to do something. It's so important, you know. We all know about the Great Commission, right? Go out and preach the gospel. Right. And what happens immediately after the Great Commission? Right, Jesus said, wait in the city until you're endued with power from on high. Just a question. Before you started to do your thing, were you clothed with power from on high? Or did you act out of your own strength? Well, your fruits will show the difference. We see it in the life of Mary. But did you take it? Was there a release of power before you started it? Or was it just, you thought a pizza would be good now? Now let's bake a pizza. What was Mary's motivation? Let's get back into the text. What was her motivation? Why did she do what she did? First, what did she do? What do we read that she did? Yeah, she was sitting and listening, being and perceiving. What else? Nothing. So, what was her motivation? Why did she do it? She never wrote a book even. I mean, she should have written a gospel or an appendix to a gospel. It would be so, but she never did it. Why did she sit there? Why? It was just for himself. There is no other reason. We can't say like she wanted to study theology or whatever. It was just for him, just out of desire, just for him. The greatest thing about Mary of Bethany is the question that she never raised. Martha comes and asks Jesus, doesn't it bother you that she sits here and does nothing? Who does not have this question? Mary. Why? Because she knew that it was okay for her to sit here. Why is this interesting? Well, it's interesting because it was in the Middle Eastern culture. What is the role of a woman in a Middle Eastern culture? First, what are you doing while men are sitting around the table? Same in Africa. Serving. The woman serves, of course. Well, what do you think? What was the relationship between woman and man in this Jewish culture at this time? Was it normal to just interact in a casual way? Okay, so a question, how was it for a Jewish rabbi to interact with a woman? Well, I'll tell you. There were theological schools at this time which forbade Jewish Pharisees to even talk with a woman because they were considered unclean.